Is Taylor Swift really related to Queen Elizabeth I? In this video, we are going to investigate and find the secret genealogical chain that proves they share the same royal blood. She is the defining icon of the 21st century, a master of storytelling, a composer of cultural anthems, a woman who has rewritten the rules of fame and artistry. Her name is Taylor Swift. And she is the defining icon of the 16th century, a master of political strategy, a composer of a nation's destiny, a woman who had to rewrite the rules of power to survive. Her name is Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen of England. 400 years of history separate them, an ocean of cultural difference. One ruled a kingdom with an iron will, her every move a calculated performance for the survival of her throne. The other rules the charts with a poet's heart, her every move a calculated performance for her art. Their worlds, of royal decrees and digital streams, of courtly intrigue and social media feuds, could not be more different. But what if that distance is an illusion, a trick of the historical record? What if the blood of queens, of political survivors, and masterful image crafters runs through the veins of a modern pop star? Welcome to The Missing Link. Today, we are not just historians, we are detectives, and our case is to prove the impossible, that Taylor Allison Swift is a direct, verifiable descendant of the House of Tudor, and by blood, a distant cousin to Queen Elizabeth I herself. The connection seems absurd, a fantasy. But history is not a straight line. It's a vast, interconnected web, and we are about to trace one of its most incredible hidden threads. This isn't speculation. This is an investigation, and we have a chain to build. Before we begin, you need to understand our methodology. This isn't a game of 6 degrees of separation. This is forensic genealogy. We are building a chain of evidence that would stand up in a court of history. Our detective's toolkit is built from public archives, centuries-old church records, wills, marriage certificates, and the painstaking work of genealogists who have traced these lines for decades. These are our clues. This is our crime scene, and it spans 4 centuries and 2 continents. We make our detective's pledge to you. We will use verifiable evidence to present the most plausible path. We will show you the documents, name the names, and explain the historical context at every turn. History is an ongoing investigation, not a finished story. There may be alternate routes, but our goal is to build the strongest possible case based on the facts. The verdict, as always, is yours. The case file is open. Let's begin our investigation at the very source of power, the Tudor throne itself. Our starting point is the Tudor throne. Queen Elizabeth, daughter of the formidable Henry VIII and the ill-fated Anne Boleyn, died in 1603. She was the Virgin Queen, and she took that title to her grave, leaving no direct heir. This is our first and greatest hurdle. If she had no children, how can anyone be her descendant? The answer lies not in her children, but in her family, specifically her aunt, the woman who was, in many ways, the antithesis of Elizabeth, Mary Boleyn. While Anne Boleyn captivated a king and lost her head for it, Mary Boleyn managed to navigate the treacherous currents of the court and survive. History remembers Mary not for her politics, but for her relationships. She was a mistress to King Henry VIII before her sister Anne caught his eye. But more importantly, for our chain, she married twice. Her first marriage was to William Carey, a courtier.
It is from this union that our lineage begins its long, hidden journey. Mary Boleyn and William Carey had a daughter, Catherine Carey. Catherine Carey grew up at court and became a close confidant and lady of the bedchamber to her cousin, Queen Elizabeth I. She was trusted. She was family. She was there for the late-night worries, the political scheming, the personal triumphs. And she married well to a man named Sir Francis Knollys, a wealthy and powerful Puritan nobleman. This Puritan connection is a crucial detail. It's a thread that will later pull this family across an ocean. Their daughter, Lettice Knollys, is our next critical link. Now, Lettice Knollys is a fascinating character in her own right. She was a renowned beauty who famously and scandalously married her lover, Robert Dudley, the Earl of Leicester, Queen Elizabeth's own favorite, the man she believed she truly loved. They married in a secret ceremony. When the Queen found out, her rage was legendary. Lettice was banished from court forever, referred to by Elizabeth as that she-wolf. It's a Tudor soap opera, but it proves this line was intimately connected to the very center of Elizabeth's world, both in love and in rivalry. From Lettice's first marriage to Walter Devereux, she had a daughter, Penelope Devereux. Penelope Devereux was another celebrated beauty, a patron of the arts, and a figure of great drama. She was the inspiration for Sir Philip Sidney's sonnet sequence, Astrophel and Stella. She married Robert Rich, the third Baron Rich. Through this marriage, our bloodline continues down the English aristocratic ladder, moving from the tumultuous world of the Tudors into the slightly more stable, but still no less dramatic era of the Stuarts. Their son, Robert Rich, would eventually become the second Earl of Warwick, a key figure in the colonization of the Americas. And his daughter, another Lettice Rich, is our bridge to the next transatlantic chapter of this story. This Lettice Rich married a man named John Smith, not that John Smith of Pocahontas fame, but a landed gentleman. This is a crucial pivot. The family is now solidly within the English gentry, wealthy, powerful, but no longer at the very peak of national politics. This is important because it's from this class that the Great Migration to the New World would begin. The ambition shifts from influencing a kingdom to building a new one.
Their son, John Smith II, married and had a daughter named Abigail Smith. And Abigail Smith married a man named John Lyman. With the Lymans, our chain arrives at a momentous decision. This family were Puritans, and in the 1630s, as religious persecution intensified under King Charles I, they made a bold, terrifying choice. They boarded a ship, they crossed the vast, unpredictable Atlantic. They were among the earliest settlers of New England, landing in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Our bloodline, which once walked the polished floors of Hampton Court, now trod the muddy paths of a raw, untamed continent. The journey to America has begun. The Tudor seed has been planted in American soil. The investigation, Part B, Tracing Taylor Swift Backward. Now, let's switch our investigative technique. We will start with our modern subject and work our way back in time, retracing her ancestry until we collide with the line we just established. We are moving from the known to the unknown, from the bright lights of the present into the shadows of the past. Taylor Allison Swift was born in 1989 in Reading, Pennsylvania, to Scott Kingsley Swift and Andrea Gardner Swift. Our focus for this genealogy is on Taylor's mother's line, the Gardner side, which holds the key to our connection. Andrea's father was Homer H. Gardner, and her mother was Marjorie M. Finley. Marjorie Finley is a key figure. She was a professional opera singer, a coloratura soprano.
The artistic talent, the vocal prowess, the comfort in the spotlight in Taylor's family is not a new phenomenon. It was inherited. But we need to go further back. To find the link, we must go to Marjorie's parents. Her mother was Rose L. Weller. And here the trail begins to get warm. The name Weller is a common one, but in the context of American genealogy, it's a name that echoes in the halls of early New England history. Rose Weller's lineage takes us deep into the American story. Her ancestors were not recent immigrants. They were pioneers who pushed westward from the original colonies. Through the Wellers, we connect to a web of families with names like Winchell, Brush, and Dunham, families that have been meticulously traced by genealogists back to the 1600s in Massachusetts and Connecticut. We are now circling the same time and place we left our Tudor line just a moment ago. The two lines are in the same geographical orbit, separated by only a few generations. Let's focus. Rose Weller's great-great-grandmother was a woman named Susanna Weller, and Susanna Weller's mother was Experience Lyman. Lyman. That name is our smoking gun, the undeniable connection. We just traced the line from Mary Boleyn down to Abigail Smith, who married John Lyman in England before they sailed to the New World. They were early settlers of Massachusetts. They had children. Their son, Richard Lyman, is a documented figure in colonial history, a man who helped build the town of Hartford. And Richard Lyman had a son named Consider Lyman, a Puritan name if ever there was one. And Consider Lyman had a son named aptly Consider Lyman Jr. And this Consider Lyman Jr. married a woman named Susanna Sheldon. And their daughter, the daughter of Consider Lyman Jr. and Susanna Sheldon, born in Connecticut in 1752, was Experience Lyman. This is the moment. This is the missing link. Experience Lyman is the common ancestor. She is the daughter of the Lyman line that descends directly from Mary Boleyn, sister to Queen Anne Boleyn, and aunt to Queen Elizabeth I. And she is the direct maternal ancestor of Taylor Swift. The chain is complete, the case is solved. Let's summarize the connection so the sheer, staggering scale of this discovery sinks in. Queen Elizabeth I's aunt was Mary Boleyn. Mary Boleyn's granddaughter was Lettice Knollys. Lettice Knollys' granddaughter was Lettice Rich. Lettice Rich's great-great-granddaughter was Abigail Smith, who married John Lyman. The Lyman line continued through generations in New England, ultimately leading to Experience Lyman in the 18th century. And from Experience Lyman, a direct line of mothers and daughters through the Wellers, Finleys, and Gardners leads us straight to the birth of Taylor Allison Swift in 1989. The evidence is verifiable. The genealogical work is sound. The path, though long and winding, is unbroken. Taylor Swift is not a descendant of Elizabeth I herself, but she is a direct descendant of Elizabeth I's aunt, Mary Boleyn. This makes Taylor Swift a blood relative of the Tudor dynasty and a distant cousin, many times removed, of the Virgin Queen. The pop princess and the Tudor queen are family. The thread that connects them, though stretched across 4 centuries, never broke. Part 7. The deeper meaning. So why does this connection matter? Beyond the sheer thrill of the discovery, what does it tell us about history and about ourselves? It reveals the breathtaking, humbling scope of our shared human story. A decision made by a Boleyn sister in the 1500s to secure her family's position. A religious persecution in England that forced a choice. A perilous journey across an ocean undertaken in faith and hope. Generations of pioneers pushing west across a continent. All of these seemingly disconnected events were in fact deliberate steps in a journey that would culminate centuries later in a hospital room in Pennsylvania. It proves that our individual family stories are not isolated. They are single threads in the grand, sprawling, and impossibly complex tapestry of humanity. The blood of kings and queens, of settlers and farmers, of artists and survivors flows in countless veins, known and unknown. You are not just you. You are the living, breathing culmination of countless choices, chance encounters, and historical forces. And think about the parallels, not as proof of destiny, but as a fascinating echo of lineage. Two women who mastered their respective crafts in worlds dominated by men. Two master storytellers who used their voice, their image, and their symbolism to define an era and control their own narrative. Two figures who understood the power of a persona. Elizabeth with her virgin queen imagery, Taylor with her meticulously defined eras. Coincidence? Perhaps. But perhaps it is also a faint echo of a shared lineage, a whisper of ambition, creativity, and sheer unyielding resilience passed down through the ages.
This is the ultimate mission of the missing link, to show you that the past is not a foreign country. It is your inheritance. You are connected to it, and it is connected to you. You just have to know where to look. The evidence has been presented. The chain has been forged, link by verifiable link. The case of Taylor Swift and the Tudor throne is now closed. But the investigation never ends. History is a web with infinite connections. Who should we connect next? A founding father to a tech billionaire? A Roman emperor to a Hollywood legend? An ancient philosopher to a modern scientist? Your suggestions fuel our investigations. Drop your most impossible pairings in the comments below, and we might just take on the case. If you enjoyed this historical detective work, do us a favor. Like this video to help us reach more fellow detectives. Subscribe to The Missing Link for more weekly investigations, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a case when we upload. Until next time, keep questioning the past. We'll see you on the next investigation.